Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, January 17th. It is 6:22 right now. Market's gonna open in about 8 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Got a couple of things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, a few more things here. And it looks like we are good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Second. Well, just let me fix that screen share real quick. There we go. All right, so let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. There we go. YouTube link. There. Right there. All right. So it looks like we are good to go. People are making their way in right now. And as people make their way in, I'll start marking up liquidity over here on the daily chart. So let's start off at these upper levels here. Let's go down to the 8-hour. Going down to the 4-hour. Down to the 2-hour. Down to the 1-hour. Down to the 30-minute, we'll change this to red. Down to the 15-minute. Down to the 10-minute. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today's Tuesday, January 17th. It is 6:26 right now. Market's going to open in about 4 minutes. Market liquidity over here. So closest level of liquidity over here is going to be down below at 37,338. So that's going to be the closest level for a sell. And the closest level for a buy is going to be above over here at 37,449. So I'll see if there's let me see what the structure looked like during London session. So looks like for the most part it was bearish. So with it being bearish like that, you might look for some more liquidity on the bottom side if price decides to climb to the upside. So we have liquidity right there. I'll mark up a level 1 liquidity right here. So this could be the start of price coming back down if it does decide to come back down, but we'll come back to that a little later in the session. So let's go over here real quick to our clean chart. markup 6:30, 8 o'clock. Let me look for some structure over here on the 4-hour time frame. Going down to the 1 hour. And it looks like we're good to go. So price is currently at the it's currently at the 1 hour and 4-hour support level. That's currently where price is at. So we'll see if price breaks through it. That's pretty much where price is currently at right now. So this is going to be the 4-hour support level. We'll put that there and see how price moves. So let's go to our main chart here. I think there was news today. So let me check the calendar real quick. So there was news over here at, let's see, 4 o'clock, 5:30, 5:55. So 4, 5, 5:55. Let me check that real quick. So 4, random time for news. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 5:55. All right, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 5:55, 6, 6:15, 6, 6:15. There's a lot of news today. 7 o'clock. And that's about it. Okay, so there goes the news for today, guys. Market is now open. This is the opening candle. Mark this up real quick. It's a bit of a mess right now. It's fine. There's not going to be any entries for us right now because it's right at opening price. I mean, it's right at the sessions right here. So I don't think we're going to get anything here. If you guys are looking for the breakout, you're looking for a strong green candle, but it is going to be right at the session. So not one I'd personally take. Looking over here, this over here. Here goes opening price. Our clean chart. Opening price. All right, so I'm going to go over here and mark up news real quick as well. So let's see, we had news at 4. Five. 5:15. Also there 6. Sorry, 5:55. So 4, 5:30, 5:55, 6, 6:15. Okay. We're getting a huge spike right here. And 6:15. There's a lot of news. All right, so price is pushing up. Obviously, I'm not going to take any of these trades here. I'm going to wait for price to come back down. I'm going to go here to liquidity. So it looks like that level of liquidity right there got hit. So we'll see, what happens when price continues to push along, but it's getting close to that upper level of liquidity. I think price is going to fake out and probably come right back down. Probably where the price is going to end up pushing. But we'll see. I mean, we just got to be patient anyways. We're not looking to force anything here. So it's okay that all this crazy movement's happening. The ATR is currently 19 right now, so it's pretty normal. But we did get this huge push right here on open. Let me check CNBC real quick. Not really too much. Well, CNBC just reported that the Dow is falling for the third day, and then obviously, price goes straight up. That's typical for CNBC. So whenever you see these news announcements, you probably can expect price to do the opposite. If the Dow falls, this literally happened on open at 631. And what happened with price did the complete opposite, went straight up. So typical for price to do that. Looking over here at retail sentiment is currently 76% short right now. This indicates that, or 77% short. This indicates that 77% of retail traders are currently selling. So you typically want to do the opposite and buy. Fundamentals are currently bearish right now. They're down 121 points. Technicals over here are obviously they're bearish, but price just got manipulated to the upside. We got a double body rejection here for a V1. So this might set up for, or it might not. I was looking to see if it would set up for a V1 breakout, but it's going to be right at the session, so probably not. It's right at the Asia low, the New York low right here. So I'm hoping price breaks past it, but it doesn't provide an entry here yet. So I'm hoping price breaks past this area, then it provides a sell signal somewhere down here. And then we can probably take an entry in that direction from that point. Otherwise, I'll be looking for a possible V1 variation over here to the downside. So I wouldn't mind if price pushes up a little bit, provides a V1 pattern right here, and then allows us to take an entry for a sell. Overall trend here is still very bearish. It's just starting to switch over here on the 1 minute, but this is kind of the pattern that I'm looking for. Because it's too far up for us to, or I mean, we could still take a breakout V3, but we'll see how this ends up going around. Hey, what's up, Nick? Oh yeah, your internet's out. So I know you're sending me some messages. I'll check your messages once we're done here with the live, Nick. All right, so we're going to continue looking for entries over here. So the main thing that we'll be looking for would probably be that V1 variation, this pattern right here. If not, we'll look for a breakout V3 continuation. We still we still have opportunity for, I mean, both patterns to show up here. We're just kind of close to the sessions right here. Let me measure to see how far are we from the sessions. Yeah, we're super close. We're 24 points. So these candles over here look like it is these candles here look like they're big, but they're really not huge. They're big, but they're not that huge. They're only like 300 pips or 400 pips. They look a lot bigger than they actually are because these candles here weren't moving so much. So these candles right here, when they actually move, they look like they're huge candles. I mean, which they are big compared to all the other candles, but they're not like 1,000 pip candle. I thought these were like 1,000, like 700 pips to 1,000 pips. Maybe there's a big one right here in the middle. Close to it. It's like 600. But I was thinking they were like 1,000 pip candles. So, all right, guys, we're just waiting. It's a waiting game right here, waiting for this to provide any opportunity. You can see price here starting to consolidate pretty heavy. There's no low established yet, so we're not going to be able to get another high. So we need to get a low established right here. Once we get that, then price can push up, provide opportunity for the rejection here and come back down for the V1 variation. But we have no low here. So until we get a low, we're not going to be able to see another high because two highs can't overlap each other. It's got to be a high, low, high, low. You can't just be high, high, right? So we just got to wait. And it's just a game of patience, guys. Really just waiting. I was going to try to give you guys something else, but really there's nothing that we can do at the moment. Just got to wait. The intro will come to us. It's just a matter of time until it does. Um, let's see. NM is asking, how do you set a predetermined TP stop loss on the Trade08 platform? Use the ATM function, at the money function. NM, so like when you're setting your trade or you're placing your trade, you have to go to your ATM function and then set, well, you can be in the DOM. You can be either in the DOM or you can be on your chart. You set the ATM function, like to whatever set TP stop loss you want. I set it to 1030. You set a description for it. And then when you're taking a trade, you just choose it from your presets. And that's how you set a predetermined TP stop loss. Or you can do it on the DOM, which it's the same function. It's setting in an ATM function. Same with NinjaTrader. I mean, pretty much with any of these futures brokers, it's setting an ATM function, or even on a bigger platform like Thinkorswim, right? It's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, I know it's kind of confusing initially, but once you get the hang of it, I think you'll like Trade08. It's actually a lot more intuitive compared to like say MT4, because it's such a new platform. All right, so we had a pending sell signal right here, guys. It disappeared, so there's no entry there, of course. If we get a sell signal, we'll look for a green candle to follow it, and we have sorry, if we get a sell signal and a red candle following it, then that'll be an entry for a breakout V3 continuation. The only problem here is that you want to make sure it's not too close to the sessions over here, of course, because it's just a little tricky once it gets close to that point. As you guys can see here, price is like kind of just sitting around where news price was right here. So you can see how price is kind of ranging between these two price points. There's still no low here. So I think if you guys are looking for a V1 variation, you need to identify the low, because until there's a low here, there's not going to be any opportunity for a double top to happen right here for a V1 variation. So, I mean, again, we just got to be patient and wait for this to come up. It's going to come up eventually, but it just hasn't come up yet. It's climbing up, but it's not there yet. So let's see. Nixon. Nick, I just saw your message here. The chart should came up. You did what you were supposed to do. It's just I think it's your internet connection. Or no, you're on the wrong one. Or I don't know. On mine over here it says YM03. Yeah, yours is right. But mine just has the number there. Yours says YM0324. Yours is March. So it looks fine. It just I think it's just your connection, because if when you switch your asset, it should show up on there. All right, guys, so we have a sell signal right here. If you get a red candle, this is going to be the breakout V3 continuation. If anybody is looking to take that, again, it's going to be really close to the sessions right here. So I got to really think about whether I want to take it or not. It's not looking like it's going to close with the red candle, but if it does, we'll see how far it drops down. If it drops down too low and it's too close to the sessions, obviously I'm just going to hold off on it. If it's like really close, like right here, then maybe I can still take it. But I'm going to be very patient and careful with taking this entry here if it does come up. So I just got to be a little patient here and wait for it. But it's not looking like this candle here is going to close red, which is fine. I kind of don't want to enter a trade here anyways. This is not really a good area to, in my opinion, to really get into something. It's just too close to the sessions, and price is kind of ranging here. Okay, so no red candle. No red candle, no entry. So nothing there right now. Again, guys, we're just waiting. So don't worry, you guys are not missing out on anything here. We have a high structure right here. Color that. Okay, perfect. So we're starting to get a low right here. This is exactly what we were looking for. Now that we have a low right here that's starting to establish, if this decides to climb back up, then we can look for a possible V1 variation off the structure. And then we can write this back down. So this is exactly what we needed. We need that low to print. Once the low is printed, we start looking for a possible opportunity for entry. Yep. Yeah, Maddie's low is printed, high's been established. So this high here is now established. This low here is now pending. Now, what I'd like to see here is I'd like to see price climb back up for this range. I'm fine with it ranging. I want it to range back up, get to this point, reject off here, and come right back down, provide us time for entry, and ride this down to our TP. So let's see what's going on here. Or we can look for another V1 pattern. So we don't need to get that double top right here. That'd be ideal. It would be ideal for it to double top and then come down. If we don't, then it's fine. We'll provide another V1 variation pattern up here, and then we can ride this back down for a breakout V3 continuation. It's a bit of a tricky trading week, guys. If you guys look at the calendar, there's a lot of news. Like today was really weird. I'm not gonna say I've never seen news like this, but there's a lot of news that happened early this morning, pre-market. So the MBA purchase mortgage, or basically just MBA purchases right here. They all came up around 4. We had retail sales around 5, import prices around 6, manufacturing production around 615. And then later at 7 o'clock, we have business inventories, etc. But a lot of pre-market news here, nothing too crazy, but retail sales here were pretty much all bullish. So I can see why price pushed up, because earlier this morning, the news here at 5:30 was bullish. Price didn't really go up, I don't believe. Let me see. Actually, it got manipulated. So right here at 5:30, price came down super heavy, came right back up, then it came down super heavy, and then the correction back up started happening right here at 6 o'clock. So the high impact news over here at 5:30 was positive, but price came down. So if you did that correction type strategy, I mean, basically you could have caught this correction back to the upside. There was a V1 pattern right here. I know Rashida has been looking at this, or you've looked at it earlier this week or last week, and you said it played out perfect. It looked like it would have played out perfect again right here, because price came down at 5:30, kind of faked out a bit. You could have entered at 2 different price points right here, or you could have entered from down here. There's a V1 pattern right there and right there. So either way, if you took any entries right here, right there, you could have rolled this up for a pretty big push. I think it's a 300-300 split, full TP right there. And if you entered from down here as well, full TP right there. So I don't really trade pre-market, but if anybody wanted to trade that pre-market, they saw this manipulation to the downside happening. Obviously, the news is positive. Positive at 5:30, positive at 6:15. Wherever you wanted to make your entry at, you could have taken it. Same with right here. Price came back down. Another opportunity right there. So yeah, for a lot of you guys here who are actually paying attention to these live sessions and you guys are familiar with the news correction strategy, there was bunch of opportunity right there. So I don't like to trade pre-market, it's just not my thing. So I'm not even awake around this time. I'm usually still sleeping. I don't wake up until I usually wake up at 5, but then sometimes I just sleep in so I avoid the news. And I wake up right at 6, right before this live session. All right, we're getting another V1 pattern right here. It's not exactly close enough for us to get that double top, but this could set up for a breakout V3 continuation. So we'll see if this here closes. We need that buy signal to close with it though. That's necessary. So we need that buy signal, then we need a sell signal, and then we price the drop down further. If we get that, then there may be possible opportunity here for a breakout V3 continuation. Otherwise, I'm okay with price climbing up even higher. So I don't mind if this doesn't establish and it keeps climbing up higher and then establishes up there. Because I think the higher, the better, in my personal opinion. The higher price goes, the better, because we're going to have a bigger drop to the downside. So we'll see. There was no buy signal, so this is kind of irrelevant to us. We're not going to be able to take any breakout V3 continuations because they don't meet the confluence. It's all good, Nick. Yeah, Nick said, Nick's been asking me like a million questions about NinjaTrader, but it's all good. I'm still learning about NinjaTrader too, guys, but you're probably better off, Nick, you're probably better off popping into the Discord because there's other people who are more familiar with NinjaTrader and stuff. So I mean, I'm probably not the best person to ask about this stuff. I barely downloaded NinjaTrader like 2 days ago, Nick. So I'm in the same boat as you. So you probably should be asking somebody else in the group. So if you want to ask in the Discord, you're probably gonna get a better answer. Um, C-Suite's pretty good with the detailed answers. Um, but yeah, I mean, guys, I'm still learning about Discord, and I'm learning, or not Discord. I'm learning about NinjaTrader and like basically all the functions. So I've only used NinjaTrader for 1 day. This is my second day using NinjaTrader, guys. So I'm not the expert on NinjaTrader. So you probably want to either look on YouTube, because I looked at everything on YouTube. There's like literally so many videos on YouTube for it. But I'll help you guys in answering whatever questions you guys have. I just want to make that clear so you guys don't think like I'm some master at NinjaTrader. This is my second day on NinjaTrader. All right. C6 and NinjaTrader has videos. Yeah, they have their own YouTube channel too with like all the videos. I kind of just went on YouTube and I looked at NinjaTrader, basics. There's like a pretty good video that's on there. And that's how I figured out how to do everything. And if you want to learn how to use a copier, I just, I literally downloaded it and like I did this like yesterday, guys. Or not yesterday, the day before that. I bought a laptop. I don't even know how to use a laptop, like, because it's so different compared to Mac. So I'm probably not the best person to ask you. You can probably ask me in a couple of months and I'll know how everything works. But right now I'm still learning how to do everything. Yeah, Nick said, I know you're still super new. Just need help setting. Yeah. I mean, I still need help setting things up too, Nick. Maybe I'm gonna shoot some questions your way. But jokes aside, I'm just messing with you guys. But really, I'm not too familiar with it. I'm barely learning how to do a lot of the stuff. But yeah, you guys can ask me questions. It's just I don't have all the answers for you. Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, look at what Ryan said, Nick. 'Cause I think I didn't even realize that. Ryan said that you have to fix your connection. So I think that might be your problem. I wish I could show you, but it's on my laptop, so I can't pull my laptop on the live stream. Like I can't just pull the screen up on here. Yeah, Ryan's actually right. So you probably don't have your connections linked to it, to NinjaTrader. That's why you don't have any data. All right, guys. So we have another V1 pattern over here. Or sorry, is it a V1 pattern? Let me check real quick. Yes, it is. So this right here is it's a V1 pattern. So if we get a sell signal right here, then we'll have opportunity for a breakout V3 continuation. Well, I mean, just regular, it would be a breakout V3 just in general, but also a breakout V3 continuation. So I'll be looking to take this here. If we get a sell signal and it's followed by a red candle, I'll be looking to take this as a breakout V3 continuation. But again, we just gotta wait for it. And guys, just a heads up. So if you guys are looking to open an Apex account, I just opened 2 more accounts. So I have 5 Apex accounts right now currently running. I posted a link over here. Apex is currently 80% off. It's a huge, huge discount. So if you go to announcements here, I'll post this up again right here so that you guys can see it. But yeah, if you guys are in the Discord, Apex is 80% off, which is crazy. So I'll post this again right here in the Zoom as well. And I'll post this over here on the YouTube for anybody who's looking. I mean, you don't have to go with Apex, but if you're looking to go into Apex, then I mean, this is your opportunity. It's 80% off, which is a big discount. All right, so we have a sell signal right here, guys. It is pending with the red candle right here. If this candle closes with the red candle, then it's going to be an entry for a breakout V3 continuation. So I'll be looking to take this here. Just got to make sure it actually closes. Let's keep that in mind, guys. So you have about 5 seconds here. 3, 2, 1.
Order submitted.
So let's see, it's right here. This clock is super annoying. I gotta watch it. I need to see. The candles just look different on NinjaTrade. I don't know why they look so different on here. Like it looks like it's a lot closer than it really is. Damn, it looks like it's not a playthrough. We got super trapped on this. So it's okay, guys. I took a loss on that trade right there. Damn, that thing spiked up crazy. So this market today, you guys can see it's kind of going back and forth. Like there's some like crazy movements here. It's all good. I ate that loss. I think that's our first loss for this year. It happens. So there goes my first loss for 2024. And I got to move on to the next one. There's another opportunity right here for a V1 firm. I mean, this could be setting up right here. Let me just mark this up as a loss real quick. And that was a big spike to the upside. Market today is kind of funky. It's funky because of all the news events. I haven't seen a day where there's like this many news events happening, throughout. But yeah, I got stopped out on that trade. So I'm gonna eat that loss, move on to the next one, see if I can find another trade here. But at the moment right now, there's just nothing for us to take here. There is a possible V1 variation pattern that's setting up right here. But again, I'm probably going to hold off on this because it's not a clear rejection off the structure. Yeah, I got some slippage on that too. So I was supposed to lose 1,500. I lost 1,850. So just a little more than I usually would lose, but it's all good. It happens. Yeah, that's my NinjaTrader 2, Maddie. So let me go just post this loss real quick so we can document it. On the breakout V3 or the loss of 300 pips. So there goes my first loss for this year. It's all good. Got that knocked out. Now we got to bounce back with some wins. So this right here was technically a V1 variation entry, but I don't want to FOMO into a trade here, so I was going to take it. It's too close. This kind of met the criteria for a V1 variation off the structure, but it's not a really clean one because you can see that it lines up directly with this high point right here, right? I've seen patterns like this for this type of entry with the confluence, but I typically would just avoid it unless it's like a cleaner entry, but you can see here it did play through, but the candle is moving very blocky. So as you guys can see over here, price kind of pushed up a little bit. Well, it came down and then it spiked up and then it came right back down. So we just want to be a little more careful with today's market. Now that we kind of see that this is how the market's moving. Usually today's actually Wednesday. I thought today was Tuesday. Usually during holiday weeks, when you come back from a holiday week, this is usually how the market moves. If you guys have traded with us during, different holiday or extended weekends like New Year's, Christmas, this is typically how the market it's very jerky. And you can see here, these candles are very blocky as they move around. Like they'll close, they'll spike up real quick, they'll come right back down. I was kind of hoping this is what was going to happen with this here. I was like, okay, this is going to spike up a little bit and then come right back down. But what happened here is we just got faked out. It spiked up right here and then it came right back down, right? So we just got caught in a price spike, which happens. You just have to accept that that's part of the market and that's part of the game. You didn't really do anything wrong here. Everything lined up perfect. We had a rejection off the structure. We had a sell signal, red candle. We just got caught in this manipulation to the upside and then price came right back down. So I think once you guys come to the realization that this just happens in the market, it's easier for you to just let it go and then move on to the next entry. Because I feel like that's the biggest problem with a lot of people is when they lose a trade, they try to look for so many reasons what they did wrong. But realistically, there was nothing we did wrong here. We just got caught in this big green candle. So like you can see over here, if this big green candle didn't happen, we'd be back in profit right now, right? Because the entry happened right here. And we just got caught in that manipulated candle. So just keep that in mind, guys. You know, when manipulation like that happens, you just got to accept it and then move on to the next entry. So let's continue looking for the next entry here. I know we got caught. Well, I got caught in some slippage on NinjaTrader. So I'll be looking for maybe one more entry, hopefully, so I can recoup some of those losses. Just want to shave off some of those losses there. So we can technically take entries in both directions. There's actually a V1 variation for a buy right here. Anyone is looking to take this here. Yeah, I'd probably take this on my Apex account.
Order submitted.
Let's see. So my entry came up a little later. I got a little down right here. And this here would be a V1 variation to the upside. So there's a V1 pattern right here, double body rejection. It's rejecting off this structure. Price is currently in a range. Now let's see if this here will push to the upside. All right, so price is pushing up right here. There you go, full TP. So recoup some of my losses right there, pretty much quick and easy. So you guys can see the strategies are working. We just got caught in the fake out right here. So same strat, I mean, we use the same analysis that we were using for whatever entries that we were looking for a sell here. And now we took this buy. So we took the buy here and hit full TP. So there recoups some of our losses for that last trade. And now my loss is only at 3,000 or 1,350. So recoup some of the loss right there. And we'll see if there's any other opportunities here as well. There goes a news candle right there at 7 o'clock. Let's see, on code said to post at the link. There goes a link right there, bro. So let me just take a screenshot of this. There goes a little small recoup of loss. V1 variation. All right, so like I said earlier, guys, you know, whenever you get caught in a loss, you just got to shrug it off and move on to the next trade, especially if you got caught in a fake out type move like this right here. Not really a fake out, but more of a spike price move. And just continue looking, because if you stop looking, then you're going to get caught in what we call analysis paralysis, right? So we had news right here at 7 o'clock, medium low impact news. It was positive news. Probably going to hold off on the next entry here, let price kind of stabilize a bit. And then once we're done watching how price reacts to it, then we'll look for some possible entries. Yeah, Maddie said might get a V3 continuation, but the problem with this right here is that it's right at news. So I'm not taking any trades here. I'm going to wait to see if price reacts to the news, and then I'll go from there. Yeah, exactly. William said emotionless trading. You can't get too attached to your trades, guys. The trades happen. There's going to be a bunch of trades that come up. So you just have to, you know, basically play through. All right. So let's see what else we got over here. Steve's asking, do you skill funded trader? What's your take on how it works? Just considering them after what happened to FTMO. I've never used skill funded trader yet, Steve. I've kind of heard of them, but I've never used them. I'm only using Apex right now. I'm using Apex and I'm still trading all my FTMO and TFF accounts. So I'm still trading my MT4 accounts. I'm just trading two different, I got two hands. So I can trade MT4 on this hand and I can trade Apex on this hand. So I got a whole different laptop for Apex. And then I have my mouse over here for my FTMO. So I'm trading just Apex right now, 5 Apex accounts. I think the next platform that I'll probably be trading with would be Top Step first. And then I'll move on to like these other companies like Skill Funded Trader to just stack up my accounts. There's a breakout V3 continuation that just came up, guys. I'm not going to count it as a win, of course, because I didn't take it. The only trades I count as wins are the trades that I actually take. This right here came up, but it was right after news. So we had this buy signal come up. There was a following green candle right here. This is a breakout V3 continuation. This was followed by rejection on structure right here for a V1 pattern. This is actually a really good entry right here. I don't know if anybody took it, but this right here was actually a really good entry. There were so many confluences here. So there's a double bottom, V1 variation off the double bottom, buy signal, breakout V3 continuation. And you could have taken this for a buy. I didn't take the trade because it was right at news. News was right here at 7 o'clock. You know, I got to stick to the trading plan. I can't get greedy. So I didn't take the trade here. But if you did take the trade, you guys can see here that it played out pretty nice. So this is pretty much what just played out, but there's no other entries here. So with that said, we'll continue looking for some more entries here. But at the moment, I currently don't have anything here to take. So we took one loss today. Unfortunately, guys, we got caught in the fake out right there for the breakout V3 continuation initially. And then I took the V1 variation right here to recoup some of my losses. So not doing horrible, but yeah, I'm also not doing super great at the moment just yet. But yeah, this candle over here kind of screwed me. I got slippage like all across the board. I think everybody did. And it happens. So, all right, guys, on to the next one here. Let me see. William said, for those of you that are letting losses bother you, remember our wins here. And he's been reading Trading the Zone. Yeah, no, exactly. So, I mean, yeah, if you guys have trade psychology problems, there's books for that. I mean, the books they're going to help to some extent, but realistically, you have to like come to the senses that, you have to control your brain. Like you'll have books that'll teach you how to control your brain, but realistically, it's going to be you at the end of the day. But yeah, if you guys want to read Trading in the Zone, I think Trading in the Zone is a good book. One Good Trade's a good book. There's a lot of good books. If you guys want my list, just let me know. But I'm kind of like, I'm at a level where I don't really need the books anymore. I kind of just know how to control my trade psychology without revenge trading or over trading. Let's see. Albert said skill funded trader slips you on entry, too much for scalping. Gotcha. Okay. So we have one person here in the group who's used skill funded trader. And Albert said that there's too much slippage, so it's too difficult to scalp with them, which makes sense. Daniel over here said momentum pullback scalp just hit. Yeah, so momentum pullback scalp here looks like it just hit. I don't know if anybody was looking for that. Again, for me personally, I'm just focusing on 2 entries here, but there was a momentum pullback scalp that came up. So price came up right here. This red candle swung down. Your entry would have happened down here at this next level. It could have happened at this level, or it could have happened at the upper level. It just depends on your preference. So you could have entered right here. You could have entered right here. Either way, you would have hit your TP regardless, right? So there goes another entry there that came up. Again, for these live sessions, guys, I'm focusing on just 2 strategies as of now. You can mix in the momentum pullback scalp. I mean, we should probably be looking at these entries too, but it's kind of hard to look at 3 different strategies, at one time. So for me personally, I'm going to mainly be focusing on the V1 variations and breakout V3 continuations. And then along the line, when volatility starts to be a little bit smoother, like this is actually a smooth move right here for momentum pullback scalp. I actually would have taken this if I did see it, but I wasn't looking for it. So unfortunately, I missed it. But it seems like CJ over here caught it and Daniel identified it as well. So there's a lot of different opportunities here that come up. But again, I'm just focusing on 2 basically official entries that we're looking for during these live sessions, so we can avoid confusion for a lot of people, right? Because it's easier for me to identify and just call out certain trades like, hey, we're going to take this trade and take it when it comes up, versus hey, this might come up, but then this might come up, and this might come up. Because if I'm looking at like 3 or 4 strategies, it's going to be hard for someone to follow versus V1s and breakout V3 continuations. So yeah, but if you guys are on the next level and you guys can focus on other strategies, I mean, by all means, focus on as many as you can. I'm just doing this for the whole of the community so that we don't get confused here with what's official and what's not. Yeah, exactly. Daniel said target was sessions above, so it was a nice target. Yeah, no, exactly. It played out perfect. So whoever caught that, nice work, guys. I didn't catch it myself, but it was a pretty solid entry there. All right. So there's no entries here, guys, but we're still looking. So I'll answer questions while we're looking for entries here. There's nothing here that's coming up. So if we're looking for an entry for a V1 variation, we're going to have to look for price to come down and come up like that, basically a double bottom. We're going to be looking for something like that for a V1 variation. And for a breakout V3 continuation, we're going to look for price to come down a little bit and then come up. So these are basically 2 patterns that we're looking for, guys. So when we're looking for patterns here, we're either looking for something like this to happen with the V1 variation. That's for a sell. And then for buy, same thing, but opposite. It's like an M pattern or a W pattern. So M or W, we're looking for that with their V1 patterns. That's what I just took earlier for the win. And then we're also looking for, breakout V3 continuation. So we're looking for something like this. This is basically the pattern for a buy. Price establishes a reversal pattern right here. Price comes up, retraces, provides a breakout V3, and we take the entry like that. Same thing the other direction. Price comes up, comes down, and goes in the opposite direction. So it's really simple. You're either looking for like either a W, so this looks like a W and this looks like an M, or you're looking for an actual W or an M, right? I try to keep it super, super simple. Obviously, you guys don't need my indicators, but my indicators make a huge difference when identifying these patterns because they pretty much tell you exactly where the entry is coming up versus you having to guess, right? I mean, you can always draw the patterns yourself, but your patterns are never really going to line up as accurately as they do with the indicators. So, just a reminder, those are the 2 patterns we're looking for. So we're looking for an M pattern, a W pattern, or we're looking for reversal continuation or reversal continuation to the other side. Basically the same thing. It's like an M pattern and W pattern, and then a half M and a half W. That's really what it is. That's why I like using these 2 strategies because they align with each other, and we typically have very good confluences when looking for an entry. And they hit. So I mean that's the main thing, right? The main thing here is that the trades hit. That's our main goal here. So, all right, other than that, let's see. A question over here from Mr. Gibbs. Mr. Gibbs is asking, why did you switch to futures? So I don't know if you heard about the news with FTMO, but FTMO is no longer, well, they're not no longer, but right now they're currently not accepting US clients. And they're probably going to have to move towards futures because if you're located in the US, you're technically not allowed to trade CFDs. That's what happened with MFF. That's what happened with all these other companies. Like you can't trade US30. That's why for the longest time I didn't trade US30 because you're not allowed to trade US30 in the US. So I'm not necessarily moving directly to futures. I'm just trading both now. So I'm still trading my FTMO. I'm still trading my TFF, my funded engineer, but I'm also trading my futures accounts as well. And the future account or the future broker that I'm trading with is Apex because they have like crazy discounts. So like right now it's 80% off. So I'm paying like, I think $60 for an 150K account. That's super cheap, right? For an account size like that. So, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. It's just me adding more accounts to my trading. So that's the main reason why I'm using future accounts. But I'm still trading both. I'm not just trading one or the other. All right, guys. So looking at this right here, there's no opportunities for entry. There may be a V1 pattern over here, but I think I'm going to hold off on some sells at this moment because Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on some sell, and there's no pending sell signal here as well. There's a sell signal that's already active, so unfortunately, this won't be a V1 variation. But either way, I probably wouldn't take it. I'll probably be focused more on some buys here than sells. There's a V1 pattern here, but there's no sell signal, right? So we got the double top. This is basically the M pattern that we were looking for. The only problem here is that there's no sell signal pending. We need that pending sell signal for this to be a V1 variation. This is a V1 pattern, but not a V1 variation. So unfortunately, there's no entry there for us to take. Yeah, exactly. Delicia said that entry was fire, had a V1 high-low scalp and momentum pullback scalp. Yeah, whenever you guys can line up multiple strategies with one entry, it's gonna be a pretty good entry. So just keep that in mind. That's just typically how how it works out. Let's see, Delicia, or sorry, not Delicia. Okay, question from Kenny. Kenny's asking, do you think the V3 would have been better if price broke out of the range first? Yeah, that would have been ideal, Kenny, because it's a directional strategy, right? So the breakout V3s are typically better when it breaks out of the range. That's usually what we look for. But in a lot of instances, since we're only going for 100 pips, it can trade within the range. So, best case scenario, yeah, price is moving directional, like it was kind of moving like this right here. But in some instances, it still works fine when it's ranging, as long as the range is wide enough. Like this range over here was about, it was like 500 pips. So I would have thought that this would have been an okay range, but I mean, it is what it is, right? Can't win every trade. But yeah, ideally we would want it to be outside of the range. Okay, so we have a possible buy signal right here, guys, but there's no entry for us at the moment. So same thing as earlier. There's no V1 patterns over here. It's right next to the session. So this is an area of manipulation. There's no V1 pattern over here, so it wouldn't really matter. There's no entry for us to take here, even if we do get a breakout V3 come up from this area here specifically. Let's see, next question from NM. So NM said, yeah, unfortunately, if you're doing group trading, you can't use there's no bracket orders. And that's why I'm using NinjaTrader. If you want to use group orders on Tradeovate, you would have to do it manually. So you manually enter, manually exit. It works fine. It's just you have to do everything manually. And if you're scalping, it's very scary because it can hit your TP super quick. If you want to use bracket orders and have a copier as well, you would have to use NinjaTrader, and that's what I use. That's the whole reason I bought this laptop for NinjaTrader, just so I can use a copier, because you can't use it on Tradeovate. They have the group copier, but like I said, it's all done manually, and it's really risky because if you're too slow, you're gonna miss your exit. So for me personally, I personally wouldn't risk it, especially if you're trading big money, right? If you're trading small money, it's fine because you could lose a couple $100 here and there. But if you're losing thousands of bucks off a split second, it's a very big risk, right? Especially if I'm trading like 20 accounts on and there's also a limit. You can only trade like I think like 100 contracts at once on a group trader. So that's only like 10 accounts for me. So there's pros and cons to it. If you're just trading one account, Tradeovate's perfectly fine. You can trade, I like Tradeovate actually. But if you want to trade multiple accounts, you have to use something like NinjaTrader. NM said we can switch from Tradeovate to Ninja, right? Yeah. So Ninja is just like MT4. It's not a broker. So Ninja is just it's just a trading platform. So you'll get your login details for Tradeovate, and then you just log into NinjaTrader. It's just like MT4. So yeah, you can use they cross function between each other. So guys, still no entries here. Let's take a look at the Discord real quick. So we got a couple profits over here from Kenneth. So Kenneth over here locked in the total profit of 500 on his first account, 1,100 on his second, third, fourth, and fifth, negative 400 on his sixth, positive 1,650 on his seventh. Yeah, there's a lot of accounts, Kenny or Kenneth. Sorry, dude. I get you. There's too many Kenneths in here. I get you guys mixed up. But yeah, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 accounts. That's crazy. But I mean, it's good because it added up. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You made about 10,000 for the day. Nice work, Kenneth. Yeah, okay. I added that up properly. 10,115. Thanks for the total. So solid profits right there for Kenneth. He's done for the day. And then we have William over here. He took that loss earlier and then he made it back with a small win. So nice work, William. I'll post mine up as well, guys. I'll post it up later at the end of the session because I don't want to log into Tradeovate twice and then get logged out of my NinjaTrader. So, all right, Kenneth, we'll see you back here tomorrow. He's all done for the day. All right, guys, we will continue to look for opportunity here. Yeah, exactly. So Randy said that trade was also against the trend. In addition, it's the first breakout V3 with V1 confluence that lost the whole month. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Randy. That was one thing that I was kind of worried about. The only reason I was okay with the sell here was because of the bearish, like everything was bearish at the time, right? What time did that entry come up? It came up like, I can't remember. It came up somewhere over here. 640. So at that time at 640, a lot of these pairs were still bearish, or a lot of these time frames were still bearish, and that's why I was still okay with taking the entry. But you know, generally I wouldn't take the entry if it was like that, like on the 1 minute. I was just so inclined to take the sell that I didn't really look at the trend, but that could have helped, right? I mean, if I would have just if I would have just looked at that and been like, okay, this is a bullish trend, I should probably skip it, it would have been a better idea, but it's all good. Yeah, exactly. Randy said, yeah, the bias is towards bearish, and that's why he took it too. Yeah, it's just a tricky market today. Um, and the market's going to be like this sometimes, you know. Today's technically the Tuesday. So today's Wednesday, but it's technically Tuesday because we had a long weekend. We didn't have trading on Monday because of the holiday. So it's always kind of tricky. It's and I think it's because it's early in the week too. So I'm just like I'm not in the full swing of trading. So I'm more inclined to take trades that I think are a little more risky. And normally I'm not like that. So I think this whole week is going to be a flush for me. And then next week it'll be I'll be back on track. It takes a matter of time for me to get back in the full swing of things, especially when coming back from a long weekend like that. Let's see. Steve's asking, you mentioned TFF. Are they good, reliable? So I think TFF is probably, if you're trading on MC4, they are the second option. So FTMO obviously was number one. TFF is going to be number two as of now, just as of now. So they're all right. The only reason I know TFF is good, Steve, is because we have one of our members here. He's on the top leaderboard of TFF and he gets paid out every month. So that's why I believe that they're reliable. They used to not be. I used to hate TFF because their slippage and spread suck and their execution time suck, but they've gotten better over the years. So TFF is okay. I don't think they're the best, but right now they're probably the best option until FTMO allows US clients to sign back up. Let's see. NM said, I don't think. Yeah, so you can't switch between Rhythmic and Ninja. And I think that's why Ninja is it costs a little more because there's different options with Ninja. I think Ninja is a better platform because there's so many things that you can use on it. And there's so many like third-party add-ons versus Rhythmic. So yeah, you can switch. You can use if you have Tradeovate, you can use Tradeovate and Ninja, but you can't use Rhythmic and Tradeovate. All right, so we have a V1 pattern right here, guys. Let's see if we can get another V1 variation. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to come up a little bit, or establish a buy, and then come back down. Or actually not establish a buy. I'm looking for a high. So I need a high here to come up. So basically looking for price to push up a little bit, come back down, reject off this point, and provide entry from here. basically a W pattern, like I mentioned earlier, guys. So we're looking for price to establish a W here. That's one. So that's one scenario. We're looking for the W. And then the other scenario is the half W, right? So either one, either way, there's a V1 pattern over here. Yeah, we might get a V3 continuation right here, guys. So we have the rejection off the structure here, double wick. This is a reversal pattern. We're looking for a buy signal, and then we're looking for a green candle to follow it. Oh. All right. This market got me yawning. All right, so we'll see what's up here. Let's see if this ends up providing some opportunities for us. As we get closer to 7:30, guys, you guys can see the volatility here starting to die down a little bit. The ETR is dropping down to like 18, 17. Probably drop down to 15 soon. And if you get closer to 8 o'clock, we'll see if, if volatility starts to die down a lot, then we'll just wrap it up for the week, or not for the week, for the day. I'm already at that point where I'm like, man, this week's felt like a long week at this point. All right, we got some profits here from Valentine. Valentine locked in a total profit of 2,016 on his first account, 1,116 on his second account, 2,326 on his third account, and a total profit of 1,755 on his fourth account. Nice wins right there, Valentine. So Valentine's got some pretty good wins. There's a bunch of entries that came up today. So I know I only took 2 of the entries. I took 1 loss, 1 win. But there was a bunch of different opportunities that came up here. So if you guys are listening to my analysis, or you guys are aligning my analysis with yours, there's a bunch of different entry points that you guys could have taken if you wanted to. So again, right here, I'm looking for price to swing up. We have a buy signal right here. If we get a green candle right here, this is going to be a breakout V3 continuation. So I'll be looking for this here to play through. Just want to make sure it's not too high because it's getting close to the sessions right there. Yeah, we'll have to see how this here closes. All right, it's getting close. I don't know if I'll take this entry here, guys, because it's getting close to the sessions right there. I'm probably just going to hold off on it because if it just spikes up at the last second, I'm not going to take the trade if it's like right there, right? I personally am not too I'm not too interested in these types of, like, the current market right now. Anyways, these candles are very blocky. So like at the very last second, this might just spike up, and then the entry is going to be up there. And you can see right here, it's trying to push up, but then it loses its momentum. All right, so the entries right here, guys, I didn't take it. This thing was moving too fast. So I don't know if anybody's in this position. I'm not going to count it, but we'll follow it here. It's probably going to hit. And I'm not going to know this late, of course. Yeah, so like I mentioned, I don't like these blocky movements. You can see how this candle is like way up here, and at the very last second, it pulled down here. I don't like those blocky movements because that's kind of how we got caught in the trap over here, right? We got caught in the trap because price came down and then it spiked up and it came right back down. It's just today's market. I think it's because of all the news for today that there's just a lot of different factors pushing price back and forth. I've never seen it. Well, I've seen days like this, but I haven't seen a day like this in a long time where there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 29 news events in one day. That's a lot of news events. And these are just US. Imagine like the whole world, right? A ton of news events there. Again, tomorrow we have a lot of news events. It's like a messy week for news. I'm okay with like 1 or 2 news events because we can work with that. But when there's like 20, 30 news events in one day, it's hard because a lot of these can be conflicting. Like if you look at the news for today, they're not all bullish. we had price that we had news that was bullish, negative, bullish, negative, bullish, negative, etc. And it's hard to like really trace because if everything is bullish, it's easy to just keep looking for buys, or if everything's bearish, same thing. So here goes the entry right there. I'm not sure if anybody took it, but full TP. So again, like I mentioned, there's a lot of entries that are coming up. It's just up to your preference if you want to take these riskier trades or not. I would have taken it if I knew for sure this candle was going to close down here, but it didn't close down there for sure. It was kind of just bouncing back and forth, and that's what threw me off. So it's all good. Stuff like this happens. And if you guys took the trade, nice work catching that full TP. If you didn't, it's fine. I didn't take the trade, so it's not going to count towards our official trades spreadsheet. So Maddie mentioned there's a momentum pullback scalp right here that's setting up. Yeah, if anybody's looking to take this momentum pullback scalp, I'll mark it up for you guys. I'm not going to take it. I'll just hold off. I think as of now, my trade psychology is kind of screwed up because of the types of movements that are happening on the chart right now. It's just not a smooth move right now as price continues to, bounce around. And I'd rather not be stuck in the trade and then kind of be stressed out about it than just watching it from a distance. Okay, so this red candle here closed below this line. The entry for the momentum pullback scalp would be down here. I'm not going to take it, but I'll follow it. So we'll see here if it actually fills. So if anybody wants to take it, it's there. But we will continue to follow here to see what happens next. So trade still hasn't filled yet. Still hasn't filled yet. It is bouncing around. And now it's filled. Technically, the entry is now filled, guys. It's currently running in profit. If anybody is in the position, again, I didn't take this position. We're just following it for whoever wants to take it or wanted to take it. Looks like it's on its way to TP. I can't even tell if they like hit TP already. Might have, may have not. But either way, it's probably still running. See, this is why I don't want to take the trade. I'm kind of glad I didn't take it because I'd be stressed out right here with price kind of just going back and forth. So if you're in this position, you're supposed to pull out for a minor loss if it closes red. Just keep that in mind. Yeah, Kenny said he took the V3 earlier, but he's sweating a little because of the top wick on that entry candle. Yeah, no, exactly. This one right here, right, Kenny? That's why I was kind of wary about taking any positions here. So we might get another V1 right here as well. Actually, you're right, Kenny. So this momentum pullback scalp probably wouldn't have been an entry because you would have, and let me just take this off. You probably wouldn't have taken it because of the range. So Kenny just mentioned the momentum pullback scalp is risky because of the range of movement. Yeah, and I think that's one of the rules here, right? Momentum pullback scalp. Yeah, you have to wait for it to break out of the range. Which is all good. I mean, this might correct back up though. This doesn't necessarily mean that it's done. The trade's still technically running, but I wanted to take it off in case we look for this V1 variation pattern. So I was looking for this V1 that Maddie just mentioned, looking for price to come down, provide a rejection off the structure, and then take this as a W pattern, a WV1 pattern. But the momentum pullback scalp is still technically running, guys. Or I mean, you would have pulled out if you got the sell signal here, but if you're still holding on to it, I wouldn't be surprised if this starts to climb up from where it's currently at. But we kind of anticipated this, right? We predicted this was going to happen because of the candle movement. So looks like the ATR here is starting to die down a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said the range is nasty. It is. It's Price has pretty much been in a range all day today. So let's go into market structure real quick and I'll show you guys. Yeah, this is pretty much the range for today. So you guys can see that price has pretty much been ranging all day. So yeah, I don't think it was as noticeable on our main chart over here because there's so much stuff going on. There's just so much stuff going on here, right? There's so many levels, there's so many news price and stuff that you couldn't really see the range here. But looking over here on the clean chart, you can see that the range here is pretty obvious. There's a pretty nasty range. Price came up and it's just ranging. This is like the worst market to trade in. But the entries that you can look for would be the V1 variations when there's the double bottom or double top. I think those are probably the best, opportunities during these types of entries. Now I'm kind of curious with the entry we took earlier. So that loss that we took earlier right here was at 952. Now, so if you guys look over here at that loss that we took earlier, it should have still played out. It's just we got caught in that fake out right there. So you can see over here our price was coming down. So price came up, came down, came up, came down, came up. And you would have expected this to come down at least to this level here, right? And then come back up. But we just got caught in that big spike candle. So, just going back and just reflecting on the trade, we did nothing wrong with that loss. The loss is just it was just it was a gimme loss. Like it was one of those losses that you just gotta take and move on with. So I mean, that makes me feel better about it. Like I hate when I lose a trade and it's my fault, right? Like if I lose a trade and it's because I took a bad entry or I entered late or if there was no entry there, then a situation like that, I'm like, okay, I'll pick myself for that. But when you lose a trade and everything lines up, the confluences are met, it's part of your trading plan, then with those losses are fine because it just happened. So let me there's no other entries here right now. There's a possible pivot scalp that's coming up, like Maddie mentioned. But again, I wouldn't personally take it myself. If I had a V1 pattern right here, then maybe I would take it. But there's no V1 pattern here. Like if we had a double body or double wick rejection, and then we had a buy signal, then in that situation, yeah, I'd have my confluences, and I would be okay with taking that entry there. But since we don't have that there, I personally wouldn't. I wouldn't take it myself. All right, let's check our spreadsheet real quick for the year so far. So here, I'll just update this real quick while we're still here. Yeah, so here goes Madhu. Madhu basically recouped a lot of his loss from earlier this morning. So he's down 400, which is not that bad. Vince, same here, he's only down 700, which is not that bad. And Jonathan over here, he's currently down 1,000, which is not that bad either. He was down 2,000, recouped it with that win that we took after the V1. Looks like he took it it's some slippage hit him there too. And then he ended up getting partial, but it's all good. So I'll post my losses too so that you guys can see once I'm like done trading. At this point, I think I'm going to be done trading. I'll see it on the charts, but I'm going to be done trading here. I'm just going to take a screenshot of my where's my thing at? My trade of 8. Trade of 8. I'm gonna log into my trade of 8. Set cookies. All right, let me screenshot this so that you guys can see. I just want to show you guys that like I'm taking these trades with you, right? So that you guys understand that we're all on the same page. If you guys take the loss with me, that's completely fine. We're gonna bounce back from it to bounce back to it tomorrow. So let me just put this over here real quick. And I think this is the biggest thing with a lot of people. It's being able to just accept what happened for the day and then move on until tomorrow. I feel like with a lot of people, it's kind of people get that FOMO. They want to recoup their losses right away. So here's my trades for the day. I only took 2 trades. First trade I took was a loss, obviously, for that breakout V3 continuation. We got spiked out. So I took a loss right there of 1,850. This loss was supposed to be only 1,500, but because of slippage, I got hit with a bigger loss. And then my win over there was a pretty much perfect win. That was a win that was supposed to lock in 500. And now my loss for the day is only 1,350, which is not that bad because, I mean, could be worse, right? So just want to show you guys here. These are the 2 trades I took. First trade I took here was the breakout V3 continuation for a loss. We got spiked out. And the second trade I took here was a V1 variation for a win. So it's all good. First red day in a long time. So sometimes you gotta have those days to remember that you're not invincible, right? That losses do happen. But as long as you're able to control them and have as minimal as possible losses, you'll be able to bounce back from it in the coming days. So there's no other entries right here, guys. There was a V3 variation that came up, but it was right at the sessions, obviously. There's also no confluence, so I wouldn't have taken it myself. There's no V1 confluence, and then right here was right at the session. So 2 things right there. With the there's no conflict. Sorry, guys, 1 second. Let me like cough real quick. Silences are super annoying. But yeah, so there was a breakout V3 continuation that came up right here, but I think the biggest red flag would be the sessions, of course. Also, there's no confluence, so it's not one that I would personally even bother to look at. But there was a setup right there. If anybody was looking to take it. Sorry, guys, my nose is super stuffy right now. 1 second. All right, I'm back. Let's see. William is asking, are you not taking these on your other accounts? For today, I was just using my Apex because I was trying to, I mean, it was hard for me to get into both with that specific first entry. So I just ended up trading on my Apex today, William. My nose. Sorry, 1 sec, guys. Hoping I'm not getting sick. Stupid weather. And I don't know if it's like this on the other side of the US, but over here on the West Coast, it's like super cold, but it's getting cold like super late. I just talked about this with Gion yesterday. I don't know if Gion's on here. But yeah, the weather is like it started getting really cold in January. Usually it warms up by now, but it seems like this cold's gonna linger longer, which sucks because I'm probably gonna be all stuffy nose on these live sessions for the next couple weeks, the next couple months, if it doesn't get any warmer. Yeah, man, he said it's cold as shit. I got my heater with me. Yeah, I know. I turn on my heater too. Oh, my sinuses are horrible. It's only bad like this in the morning. And then it's fine once it starts to warm up. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said his too. All right, so there's no entries right here, guys. If there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. As you can see, price isn't really doing anything. It's just ranging around this area. So I don't think there's any reason to force any trades here today specifically. Tomorrow, again, we have some news. It's not going to be as crazy as today, or actually, it's going to be pretty crazy too. Let's see. So we got the Fed speaking at 4:30. It's so weird that the Fed's speaking so early in the morning, but I mean, it is what it is. They're going to speak early in the morning tomorrow. And then we have building permits at 5:30, housing starts at 5:30, building permits at 5:30. So 5:30 is pretty much where all the high impact news is coming in from. And then as we get into the session, so I think during the session, it'll be fine. We just have a lot of high impact news pre-market. So all this stuff right here happens pre-market. And then we have one news event, which is the gas stock change at 7:30, which is not really going to affect us too much. So we'll see how this affects the market. Like today, there was just a lot of news events. You guys can see over here, similar to tomorrow. So we'll be a little careful because we already saw the fake outs that happened today. We'll probably only stick with the trend tomorrow so that we don't get caught in like the fake out that happened today. Because, you know, today, if we skip that breakout V3 continuation, And we only took the V1 variation right here, that would have been perfectly fine, right? This would have been our one win for the day. But it's all good, you can't be scared trading. You can't be like, oh, I'm not going to take a certain trade because I'm scared. You got to take the trades and you got to learn from the losses, bounce back from it, and then get better. But today's like one of those feeler days. You guys got to use like the first 2 days of the trading week to be like your feeler days. You're going to figure out like how the market's going to move moving forward. Like today, the market was ranging. Yesterday, the market was ranging. Tomorrow, the market's probably going to be ranging again. But at least we'll know to trade in the direction of the trend. So price will be ranging, but we'll only look for bounces off the bottom if we're looking for buys. Or if we're looking for sells, we'll look for bounces off the top. Because that's exactly what price is doing here. It's just going back and forth. So let's see. Madhu said it's 10 degrees there in Ohio. Yeah, I'm definitely never coming Midwest, Mideast. I'm going to Arizona in a couple of weeks. I heard it's pretty cold out there too. Maybe not as cold as Ohio, but it's pretty cold out there too, like in the low 30s, 40s. Yeah, I don't know how you guys deal with that cold weather. That's crazy. We think we're cold over here. Well, it's definitely not cold here compared to anywhere past, I guess, Texas. Anywhere past Texas, probably freezing. Oh, nice, William. Yeah, so William's in Tucson right now. He says it's nice during the day. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna be there next month for my cousin's wedding. So I'll be there tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, next week, next month. So hopefully it warms up by then. Certain said it's -3 Celsius over there in the Netherlands, right? Yeah, so you guys actually have it really bad over there. So we actually don't have it that bad here. It's bad, but not as bad. Martha over there in Texas as well. She said it's 20 degrees. Yeah, okay, we actually got it good here, Maddie. It's like 60 degrees here. Actually, it's like 50. It's like 50 to 60 degrees. So it's not as bad. Yeah, Kenny said he was in South Carolina and Georgia over the holidays. Got sick as hell from the cold weather. Yeah, so I guess we can't really complain. 50, 60 weather here in California is like freezing for us. But at least we don't have to deal with like -Celsius like CERN over there in the Netherlands. That's crazy. I can't imagine living negative degree weather. And Joshua said it's 26 here, but once you go below 32, it's just cold. Yeah, if that was the case, I wouldn't even be leaving home. I would just be home all day. Yeah, I think anything below 60 here in California is like freezing for us. Like if you have to put on pants, if you have to put on pants and a sweater, it's freezing here. Literally, you can wear shorts all year round, but not this year. Global warming is taking its effect. But all right, guys, back to the charts here. There's nothing for us to take. So again, if there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, it's like 15 minutes till 8. So I'm not really expecting anything to happen here. You guys can see the ATR starting to drop down to 15. Yeah, it dropped down from 17 down to 15 in like 1 second. So the volatility here is definitely dying down completely. All right, guys. So I think this is about it. It was fun hanging out with you guys. Unfortunately, we took a loss for today, but we're gonna bounce back from that tomorrow. We took one loss, one win. I'm at -3,000 for the day, which is not horrible. It could be worse, right? I could be -8,000, but I'm dead. I took one trade. I'm now -3,000. So, or -1,300. So the loss here wasn't too bad. This is going to take like 2 wins for me to bounce right back. So hopefully we'll have like 1 or 2 wins tomorrow. 1 or 2 wins on Friday, and then we'll just bounce back from that loss. So yeah, Rashida said she's only -100 for the day, so she's good. Yeah. You just gotta look on the brighter side of things, guys, and no need to revenge trade or overtrade anything else moving forward from there. So, all right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap this up.